Hi, I'm Rishi Sanyal with DPReview.com, and we're here in beautiful Discovery Park in Seattle, and we're going to talk about some of the considerations that go into making great wide-angle portraits. Let's do it.
Wide-angle lenses are not the most common choice for portrait photography. Most photographers prefer the creamy bokeh and subject isolation that you get from a faster lens with a longer focal length. But personally, I prefer wide-angle lenses for portraiture. They can provide a sense of place that helps tell a story. They can also enhance depth. And in my opinion, the slight distortion you get from shooting close up at 35mm is similar to what we experience when viewing loved ones up close. In essence, you get a shot that feels like you're standing right there with the subject. I think that it lends a familiarity and intimacy to the portrait. Today, we'll be shooting with two different models in a few different scenarios using the Sigma Art 24-35mm f2 lens. The first consideration of wide-angle portraiture is choosing your location. In this case, I'm looking for something that's west-facing, so we have the option of capturing the sunset behind the subject. I also want some texture around the model to give a sense of place and lend some detail to the image. The second consideration is your lens. When choosing a lens, I want something that is wide, but not so wide as to create extreme distortion. I also want something fast enough to isolate the subject. I'm a big fan of Sigma Art lenses. They're sharp wide open and have lovely bokeh. I use both 24 and 35mm primes for weddings, engagement shoots, and family portraiture. The 24-35mm f2 gives me both focal lengths in one package. The next consideration is lighting. For this shoot, we'll be using both strobes and natural light to get a variety of images. The final and most important consideration is framing.
Yeah, so we're just going to use this available light with our beautiful model Nina and take some 24-35mm shots.
When shooting wide portraits, you have to be attentive to proximity and focal length. If the subject is too far to the edge of the frame, facial features can become stretched. Shooting too close with the subject in the center can introduce barrel distortion, making facial features look unnaturally large. But again, I think that some distortion of this type can be nice to create that sense of intimacy.
So we actually just turned the camera around and are getting some shots of Nina backlit now because it creates some really nice backlit lighting and some lens flare coming into the camera, which gives a really nice light to the image.
For our third and final scenario, we set up some off-camera strobes to provide some soft lighting to balance out the colors along the horizon.
We've got a speedlight transmitter here, so we're going to pop that on the camera and use it to trigger a couple of speedlights. So as you can see, we've lost a lot of our light at this point, but I'm pretty happy with some of the lighting that we got and this wonderful lens that kind of allowed us to get a dramatic perspective. Thanks for joining us. Hope you learned something, and see you next time.